The big wireless companies are panicking. They sold you an outdated plan tied to long-term contracts and mystery things.
All right.
They know it's only a matter.
Welcome aboard. They're getting ready for North Carolina and Duke tonight. And we understand A-Bomb is going to be calling in the show shortly. Just heard the national anthem. That ought to get you all in the mood and patriotic up in here. Now we're just waiting for the network to hand down the normal feed. So we'll have play-by-play coming up shortly. Stay with us.
Close has it been? As you take a look at Duke and Carolina, the 46th all-time meeting with both of them ranked in the top 10. Duke's 123, Carolina's 122. Over the last 103, UNC's got one more win. Duke has scored 3 more points. Plain and simple, it is the best rivalry in college basketball. We are thrilled to be here tonight. Dan Schulman and Jay Billis, Maria Taylor in a moment. You played in this rivalry. What does it mean?
It is the best rivalry, not just in college basketball, but in all of sports. 36 Final Fours between these two teams, 10 national championships in the last 37 years. It is remarkable. Duke, Carolina, always delivers, always.
It always does. Talk about what it's like for the freshmen to play in this game for the first time.
I don't think you can describe what this building is like and what the feeling is like to go on this floor for Duke, Carolina. The air is heavier, it is hotter, it is not just any other game. You try to treat it that way to fool yourself into thinking it's any other game, but this is bigger than any other game they'll play in the regular season.
Some players say they're exhausted by the end of warm-up. What about the stars we've got on both sides?
Well, if you start with Duke, Zion Williamson and then R.J. Barrett are not only two of the best freshmen in the country, they're two of the best players in the country, maybe the two best players in the country, both of them averaging over 22 points per game. Zion Williamson, 9.5 rebounds a game. He has 2 blocks, 2 steals, does absolutely everything. And the left-handed R.J. Barrett is just spectacular, coming off a triple-double in his last ball game against NC State. And for North Carolina, they have outstanding shooters. This team averages over 9 threes made per game, over 10 made threes per game in ACC play, led by their freshman point guard, Kobe White, who averages 18 points per game in conference play and has the best hair in college basketball. And Cam Johnson, who's an outstanding shooter, shoots 48% from 3. This is not your father's Carolina team with an inside game that is going to kill you. They will hurt you from the perimeter in this one.
For more on this big game and how hot a ticket this is, here's Maria Taylor.
Well, Dan, it's one of the hottest tickets in sports because right now on Vivid Seats, you can see the average cost of a UNC Duke ticket. We average out at about $2,600. That's second only to the Super Bowl. And not only that, one fan even paid over $10,000 just to be in Cameron Indoor for this one. I spoke to a fan that came all the way from Seattle, said he brought tickets for his entire family, $2,000 a pop. Not because he's a Duke fan, but because he wanted to be in the building on one of the most special nights ever. And we also have Todd Gurley here. We also have Spike Lee, Greg Olson, and as you saw, the 44th President of the United States. It's a star-studded event.
The kid is here, Ken Griffey Jr. As Maria mentioned, Spike Lee is here as well. They are all here to see Duke and Carolina as another chapter will be written into this storied rivalry between two of the game's most iconic, historic programs. With, by the way, a couple of Hall of Fame coaches, of course, beginning with the Roy Williams of North Carolina, Mike Krzyzewski of Duke, the 11th time they have met with Coach Williams at Carolina, with each program in the top 10. And what's the tally? Well, of course, Jay, it's 5 for each coach. You couldn't make it any more even between these two programs. Ready to go with the officials, Mike Eads, Brian Dorsey, Ron Groover, an outstanding crew. And we are ready for the tip of our Sonic Blockbuster. Williamson for Duke, Brooks for Carolina on the tip. Mike Eads will get us going, and we're underway at Cameron.
Carolina starting off in man-to-man. One of the key matchups is going to be Trey Jones and Kobe White. Jones's defense on White is going to be a determining factor in this ballgame.
Right now, Luke May starts on Zion Williamson. Barrett misses the three. Offensive rebound, Marquise Bolden. Carolina, an outstanding rebounding team. Duke as well. And actually, Duke, the better offensive rebounding team. Usually, that's the North Carolina Tar Heels. Slipping and injured is Zion Williamson. Back the other way, a layup for Cam Johnson. And 36 seconds into the game, Zion Williamson is down. He blew through his shoe. Yeah. Look at his look at his left shoe. He blew completely through the shoe, and then he started holding his right knee. I mean, his shoe blew apart. I've never seen anything like that. Watch when he plants right here. His foot comes out of his shoe. That's unbelievable. He broke his shoe with his own foot, but as you say, the injury does not appear to have anything to do with the left foot. He did reach for the back of the right knee. And if we get information, we'll pass it along as he gets some work done. Jack White has come into the game for Williamson. If anybody else on the bench has a size 15 shoe, they better give it up right now.
What up, y'all? We are here.
So some concern in the opening moments here for Duke.
What a bizarre happening to start a game.
So we have a little technical issue getting started here.
And White has really struggled shooting the three. Remember the Syracuse game? He went 0 for 10 from 3 in that game.
And Williamson just blew out a shoe, as you heard.
Shooting the ball very well.
His last 3 was against Wake Forest when he went 1 of 4. Good pass inside.
And Luke May all alone.
All right, as soon as A-Bomb gets here, we're going to take over the play-by-play, so then you can enjoy ESPN.
Secondary break. They run it so often, it is difficult to guard unless you're completely alert.
And CJ Yorst, we are not going to be able to show the game. YouTube would shut down my channel and kick me off YouTube if I did that. So I guess Zion's looking for a size 15 shoe at the moment. It is 4-0 North Carolina at the early lead. And this is a three-pointer.
Duke, of course, starts 4 freshmen. As it's not going to bounce, it still belongs to Duke. Both teams, Jay, as you well know, like to play fast. 2 of the fastest,
Fast and
highest-scoring
loose.
teams we have in the country.
Well, North Carolina wants to run at every opportunity, and that's really the challenge for Duke, is to try to make North Carolina into a half-court team and try to slow the advance, make it a dribble advance instead of a pass advance.
Zion Williamson, as you can see, heading to the locker room right now for the Blue Devils.
And thus far in the game, North Carolina's pressure has been a factor.
R.J. Barrett for 3.
R.J. Barrett has really begun to shoot the ball better from midway through the season on.
It stays with Carolina. Kobe White putting a lot of pressure on the Duke defense. Crowd thought it should have been Duke ball, but it stays with the Heels. Kobe White's had some big games recently, including a 33-point effort in an overtime win at Miami.
His second 33-point game of the season. He had 33 points and 7 made threes against Texas earlier in the year. That's too easy. What a terrific out-of-bounds underplay by North Carolina just to get an easy layup right under the Duke basket.
Carolina 20-5, 10-2 in the league. Duke 23-2, 11-1 in the league. Duke ranked #1, Carolina #8. Off a screen, Reddish.
I'm a little bit ahead of you. I can pause mine.
Duke, Carolina able to run after the defensive board.
Can you fast forward?
Who's a good passer for a big man. Into May.
I'm at 17-20.
Down another one. He's already got 6.
And it is
he's being guarded by
8-3.
Who is a good player, but
North Carolina.
Defender that Luke May has seen.
Welcome aboard, folks. We're just getting situated here.
He's drawing the top individual defender up front in every game he plays.
And it would have been Williams.
No, I am on the Roku tonight.
Okay. Whoa, I'm hearing some feedback. Let me make sure I've got my Facebook, or I'm sorry, my YouTube turned all the way down. Let me make sure I got that down. Yeah, that's what my problem was.
Cool, cool, cool. No problem. I'll go ahead. I'll even put your picture up there so people know who the other...
Sweet.
I know. That's righteous.
Nice. Okay, so tell me what the time left in the first half you're showing is right now.
16:33. It's
Okay.
8-3 North Carolina.
We are synced up, brother. And yeah, man, I gotta say, about 5 minutes ago,
there's a
somehow.
steal.
Oh, okay. They're still in a timeout on mine. Let me get that going.
That's 6:18, and Duke stole it, went coast to coast, but it was blocked by the Tar Heels on the layup attempt. So
I spilled an entire beer on my floor about 5 minutes ago. That's why I had to go. I don't know what happened. My arm or something knocked it, and it like caught a little bit of my power strip down there. I had to make sure everything was going okay there.
well, that's better be safe than sorry. Sorry about your beer, man. Party foul.
I don't care about that. Yeah, I hate just getting that liquid on the floor. I had to.
It's gonna be a sticky floor there. Still 8-3 here.
And we are coming up on 16 minutes to go, straight up in the first half. It's 8-3 North Carolina with their 20-5 record, number 8 in the land against number 1 Duke, 23-2. It's a 3-point attempt for North Carolina. It's no good. Rebounded by Duke.
All right, I think we're pretty synced up. Very good, and they get the offensive glass. 10-3.
We got some fun facts coming up for you. Brought a little content with me tonight, so that'll be coming up in a bit. Long 3-point attempt for Carolina. It's no good. They get their own rebound, up for 2, and they're up 10-3. And at some point, Duke's gonna have to call a timeout. You have to think.
I can't pause it, so you're still a little behind me. I'm at 14:58.
Okay.
There's going to be a whistle here at 14:58.
Yeah,
looks like we're about to go to a break.
Commercial, yeah.
Apologize to, I don't know if we even have any listeners. Let's see who we got aboard here. We got, well, CJ, who's probably already left. He's in the chat box with, hey, you showing the game, bro. I don't know if CJ heard my response, but no, we're not showing it. But we got live play-by-play reaction. It's Crusher and the Bomb. Welcome aboard.
Right here. And you know what? I think you must be. I just went as live as I could possibly go on this. I think that's where you are too. Sounds like you're right on point.
Okay, good. All right.
And do you see this? Do you see this old Geico commercial from about 15 years ago?
No,
the piggies and all that.
Oh, the wee one. That's the worst one ever. That is the worst Geico commercial ever fucking made. That's stupid.
And they brought it back, and they're running it with that annoying pig voice, and for a good 20 or 30 seconds. They're bringing back all their commercials from, I would have to say, 15 to 20 years ago.
I mean, I like the nostalgia. I like recycling commercials, but that was a terrible commercial. All right, we are in a break. It's Duke and North Carolina tonight. We got live play-by-play reaction.
And it is a terrible commercial. And for some reason, they're bringing all of their early 2000s commercials back. I'd love to see that from maybe some good commercials, but not those. I would love to see some other companies do that. I would love to see the, Michelob thick neck guys named Gunter ad with Martin Mull come back.
Martin Mull commercials. Now that is waxing. That's waxing nostalgic.
Are you scared of the dark?
He's afraid of thick neck guys named Gunter. But don't be afraid of Michelob Dark.
Bring
Be
that
afraid of
back.
Do they even have Michelob Dark anymore?
Probably not.
No.
And so here's some interesting matchup information for you. University of North Carolina was established in 1789 in Chapel Hill. I used to live in that town, and I lived there from about approximately 1975 to 1980, and Duke is only 10 miles away. So I've been to both campuses. That's why this rivalry is so huge. Both of those teams are within 10 miles of each other.
Ooh.
And more fun facts coming up. We're back to live action where North Carolina is up 12-6.
Oh, man. I look forward to that story. A-bomb. Man, those guys will see each other later tonight at the bars. There might be some fights.
Exactly. And Duke has the ball right now. They're down by 6 points. And here we go. We've got a foul on UNC, it looks like. North Carolina commits a foul. Or is it on Duke? It looks like they're going the other way. Coach K looked very pissed off.
Displeased, indeed. We've got him shooting 2 here.
Or actually, no, it looks like it was just an inbound for North Carolina, so apparently it was not a shooting foul. There's a 3-point attempt for UNC, no good, but the rebound controlled by UNC, and it gets laid in. Tar Heels up 14-6.
I am now behind you.
Well, gosh darn it. Yeah, it's tough, man.
Sorry.
Let me see if I can pause it for just like a couple of seconds. How many? What's
14:28? The clock is stopped at 14:28.
Okay, so I was at 13:59, so I'll go ahead and pause for a few moments here, see if I can go backwards.
So they're showing a replay of the foul.
Okay.
They're bringing it right. We're back in play at 14:23, 22, 21. 3-point attempts. Putback is good. 14:14 on the clock. 14:10 on the clock. How am I doing? Is that helping?
Yeah, it's helping. Yeah, you've got another few seconds.
14:5 and coming up at 14 mark.
All right, let's go ahead and mark this. This is the guy at the free throw line for Duke.
Looks that way. There's a foul. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see when he throws this first free throw. The listeners are not sticking around. That cleared the house.
And Carolina just jams it home. At least know when you see that.
I'm watching free throws. That was the first free throw. I'm at 13:59.
Let me know when you see a slam dunk coming up after that.
Is it going to be an offensive
it's
rebound?
North Carolina. No, it's North Carolina jamming it home in just a few seconds for you, I'm sure.
All right, they're going to bring it in. North Carolina bringing it in. It's 14-7. North Carolina crossing midcourt. They are going to swing it around. Down low, the feed and the dunk.
All right.
The flush.
Okay.
Boom.
So how's Davies doing, by the way?
He's going to have court on Monday, and his lawyer told him that he is going to walk out of there.
Damn it. Well, looks like it won't be.
For 3.
There's the 3, yep. No good.
A little playground throwing the ball off the defender out of bounds.
Back off the guy's shoe.
Yeah, that is some parking lot basketball here.
All right, now we're finally caught up here. Really glad it took a while to sync it up, but let's get this fact out here. How about this fun fact? This is the 249th time these two teams have played each other.
Dang.
And it started in 1920, which was 99 years ago.
Epic.
And And so more Nuggets coming to you in just a bit. Right now it's 18-9. North Carolina doubling up their lead on Duke. You know the Cameron Crazies are hating this. Duke up for three, no good, and the rebound goes to North Carolina.
And three-point attempt from North Carolina is no good. I might be a second or two ahead of you now.
All right, we're about there. Three-pointer for Duke is no good, and so North Carolina rebounds the ball. They're going the other way with it. They lay it in. It is now 20-9, North Carolina. And what does Coach K do here?
They're on a big run, A-Bomb. North Carolina comes in 20-5 on the season. Duke is 23-2.
A couple of hot dingling teams, and as you know, Tennessee was #1 in the land until last week. Duke beat them, so now Tennessee's in 5th place, and Duke has taken over the #1 spot in the land.
They're 11-1 in the conference. You know, home court advantage, only 10 miles away. How does that affect the home court advantage?
And you know it's a big deal down there in North Carolina. I mean, these two teams, as we mentioned, 10 miles from each other. No, neither one of those teams likes each other very much. So how about a couple of fun facts about both of these historic colleges in North Carolina along Tobacco Road? We'll start with UNC first. University of North Carolina Chapel Hill was established in 1789. And by the way, this is a little side note, but UNC and the University of Georgia both have this dispute going between each other that's been in effect for the last couple hundred years about which one was first. So there's that. But University of North Carolina Chapel Hill established 1789. They've got approximately 30,000 students.
Nice.
When you add up their undergrads and their grad students. And then Duke is a private school. University of North Carolina is a public school, but Duke is a private school. They have fewer students. They have 16,000, but they're known as the better academic choice between the two, even though University of North Carolina has a very good reputation among public universities. Duke is known as the better, you know, the more academically inclined school. And again, North Carolina established 1789. Duke is a private school. They were established many years later in 1838.
That's got to play into the rivalry.
Oh, absolutely it does. Absolutely it does. And as we mentioned, these two teams have played 248 games previously. And here's how it all shakes out. North Carolina with 137 victories in all those games, and Duke has won 111 games. So Duke is down by about 26 games by my count in the all-time series over the last 99 years.
That's still a pretty tight race. Still
Absolutely
pretty even.
It is.
And that's over a long period of time as well. It's probably even closer if you look at it in the modern era.
Absolutely right. Yeah, if you looked at it over the last, say, 20 years, I'm sure Duke would probably lead it big time. But, you know, it's the best rivalry in college basketball. It's pretty much known throughout the entire community as being that.
All right, we are still in a break, but heading back to the game here shortly.
And while we're still in a break, let's find out how the weather in Panama City Beach was today.
It was foggy and 72 with winds at about 15 miles an hour. It was not bad at all. I'll take that.
Very nice. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that coming up over the weekend. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at the 10-day forecast.
And we are coming back to action here. All right, Duke's going to score right away.
And then they steal the ball, and there is a slam dunk.
And they
Or
score
was that
again.
The score you were talking about?
No, they just put up 2 quick baskets. You're right. They scored, stole it, and scored again. It's 20-13.
And you really got to figure that Duke is probably, I'm going to say Duke is going to win this basketball game. That's the way I see it playing out. You can let us know what you think down in the chat box.
Seven-point game. Duke trails. There's a turnover.
Ball is loose like the man said.
North Carolina down low. They're going to feed it for 2.
And it goes. And North Carolina with a 9-point lead. They've got 20 points in the paint. Duke only has 6.
(24-15). 10-26 in the first half. They're using the fan cam now. It's really not a good shot. Missed, but the putback is good. And another steal.
7-point game. Yeah, oh yeah, Duke gets it right back, and then they throw it out of bounds.
Boy, they really wasted that opportunity by throwing it away.
They sure did. We've got 10 minutes and 1 second remaining in the first half.
And the fans putting the jinx on North Carolina. They're all doing some wavy hand thing right at the player. That's got to psych him out.
I think we saw the same thing from Josh and Sean. Oh, what an alley-oop.
Boom!
And it goes for North Carolina.
Wide open flush.
Nobody wants to give North Carolina a chance here in Duke. And we're in Durham, North Carolina, by the way, for this game. And there's a 3-point for Duke. It does not go.
They managed to keep it in bounds.
They do save it. Here's another 3-point attempt. No good. Duke gets the rebound once again. Another 3-point attempt. No good. And this time, North Carolina comes away with it. We're in Durham, North Carolina, home of the Durham Bulls from the movie Bull Durham, if you're familiar with that. This is also the city they play in.
Duke had a lot of chances there. They wasted it. Had a lot of offensive glass, but could not convert.
Yeah, they had 3 chances on the offensive glass, and the possession still went back to North Carolina with no points scored by Duke. And they have it again, down by 9.
It's man-to-man defense from North Carolina.
We have 9 seconds left to shoot for Duke. And they get a layup in somehow. And was there a foul on the play?
There was offensive foul. Basket is no good.
That's right. Turnover for Duke. So now North Carolina will inbound it. They have the ball, and they're up by 9 points. 8.5 minutes left to go in the first half. There's a 3-pointer. It is no good. And
get the rebound. Wide open. He was open. Yeah, he was wide open down low.
Absolutely. 28-17, and North Carolina extends the lead to 11 points.
And I've got 8:08 on the clock. Duke misses the spin move down low. Oh, alley-oop attempt is blocked.
That is blocked by Duke. I'm sorry, blocked by North Carolina, and back to Duke. Impressive block we just saw there.
It's 28-17. Well, everyone wants to give the alley-oop a try. Duke cannot convert. North Carolina is going to get it, and they can't convert either.
And you're right, the alley-oop is huge these days. I mean, it's been around for a long time, but you see this a lot now in the pros and in college.
At 7:12 left in the first half. All right, no good from Duke. North Carolina brings it up. Trying to feed it to the big man. He's in a box down there. Kicks
North
it
Carolina
out.
has not hit a three-pointer yet, and they still haven't after that one. They're 0 for 7.
They're going to try again.
They're 0 for 8. And Duke comes away with a rebound. So Carolina is up by 11, and somehow they still haven't they haven't hit a three-pointer yet. Imagine if they start hitting some threes.
Yeah, Duke has got their hands full at home. The #1 team in the country trailing. They're launching them.
No good.
Everyone feels like they got the hot hand, but they don't.
Now Carolina comes away with it, and a jam misses, but the follow-up goes in. It's 30-17. Carolina up on Duke, and Coach K has to call a timeout right here, and he does.
I mean, this is a little bit on the sloppy side, but the alley-oops are fun to watch.
They're fun to watch, but you're right. This has been some sloppy basketball. We expected to see a couple of, big-time teams going at it. So far, really hasn't felt that way. North Carolina does have a considerable lead right now. And I will be right back. Hang tight.
A-bomb. I'm Crusher, and that's A-bomb. We got live play-by-play reaction of our game of the week, North Carolina, Duke. We're in a break right now. So far, it's been all North Carolina, really 28-17. The Duke fans at home can't make enough noise. So we certainly got a good game on tap here tonight. The #1 team in the country trailing by 11. Hey, let us know where you're listening at. Hit us up in the chat box. And tonight's game is sponsored by treasurehunt.ga. All right. We're in a break right now. So I'm at the dollar store today, and I bought some fish oil at the dollar store. And as I'm eating that fish oil, I'm thinking, where did they get fish oil for a dollar store? Like some retarded, diseased fish or something? Where's that coming from? Where? All right. Let us know where you're at tonight in the chat box. We'll be going there soon and often. All right. In a break right now. It's our game of the week. North Carolina and Duke. It's been a little sloppy, but 30 points with 6 minutes left in the first half. Tar Heels finding ways to score without the three-pointer. Everyone's throwing threes and missing, and everyone's trying alley-oops, and some of those are going. Okay. It might be a little early to say we have an upset in the making, but 13-point lead. It's pretty stout here. And we are in a break right now. Sounds like A-Bomb's back there getting a beer. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. make sure you like and subscribe for NCAA basketball, plus college football, pro football, and MLB. We're going to be the flagship stream for the Atlanta Braves' first live play-by-play reaction show.
And I cannot wait for that. That is coming up sooner rather than later.
Now, early in the game, Zion, the star player, busted out a sneaker and may have hurt himself, so I haven't heard what they said about him.
Oh, right. So did that knock him out of the game for a little bit?
Zion Williamson will not return.
Oh, too bad.
The player everyone came to see, that
Blew out a flip-flop.
yeah, cut his heel, had to cruise on back home, man. That's some stunning news. Right now we are broadcasting on YouTube. I'm considering taking us to Facebook Live at the second half.
Yes.
If we don't have any more viewers, we may move it over to Facebook. Well, let's see if Duke can get in it without their star player. And I know they had some injuries earlier in the season. I don't know if those guys have come back yet either. All of a sudden, they're not the #1 team in the country anymore, just like that.
And North Carolina, perhaps taking aim at that. Even though they're #8, it would be very difficult to jump all the way to #1. Long way to go in this one.
And North Carolina player slow to get up. He pointing at his chin.
Are you seeing this fan cam? What's up with that? Is that somebody with a cell phone in the crowd? And oh, you're on live TV now.
Yeah, I guess they give somebody a low-resolution camera and say, "Here's an idea."
Right.
We
Might as well be somebody like on a BlackBerry from about 10 years ago.
Instead of that high-definition shot, let's go to the low-res standard def fan cam. All right, we have 30 for North Carolina now, 19 for Duke. Zion Williamson is not going to return to the game. He blew out his sneaker, and we don't know what his injury is, but his sneaker basically came apart, and he hurt himself. So all we know at this point is he is not expected to return.
And we do appreciate all 4 people on board right now. And as the old Jimmy Buffett song, we mentioned Zion possibly blew at a flip-flop. And so speaking of the beach, let me go ahead and bring this up. I'm checking the 10-day forecast in Panama City Beach, starting to look really good. On Saturday, we do have a 40% chance of precip, but it's a high of 73. That's the day I'm planning on coming down there. And, that sounds pretty damn good to me.
What's the temperatures up in Atlanta? 10-point game here.
Yeah, it's cold up here right now. Let's see. Currently in the Metro Atlanta area, it is a temperature of, wait for it, 41.
Harsh, brah.
It is.
All right, I think they're going to call a goaltending on that, maybe. All right, 30
Looks
to 22. Like, Duke is getting back in this.
Yeah, that was a nice looking block, but it was not actually a block. It was a goaltending call. Ball was in the cylinder.
Cylinders. 8-point game, 4:45 in the first half. Dylan, welcome to the chat room. You're in the chat box.
Yes, Dylan Frost, a Tar Heels fan.
Three-point
Welcome
attempts,
aboard.
no good. Right. Everyone having trouble with the three tonight. Duke misses the three. Turnover. 2-on-1 for North Carolina. The layup is no good. There's a foul.
Yeah, there was some kind of action going on there. So once again, Dylan Frost is a Tar Heels fan. Right now, they're looking good, up by 10 points. And they're in Cameron Indoor Stadium. So we have 4 minutes and 13 seconds to go. First half. College basketball halftime show coming up.
Another missed three.
Oh, rejected by Duke. Carolina maintains the ball, then a three-point shot does not go, and Duke comes away with a rebound, down by 10 points. And a layup goes. So it's an 8-point game.
Fans are sensing it's happening.
And the dude with the hair, man, that dude's got some impressive hair. He just missed it.
Yeah, Dylan's right. A lot of trouble with the three-pointer tonight. They're going to a break. A lot of people are missing the threes tonight, Dylan. And North Carolina seems like they haven't scored in a few minutes now.
So let's run this back one more time. We want to mention this. University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, established in 1789. And when you add up all their undergrads and their grad students, they have about 30,000. Duke was established some years later in 1838. They have about 16,000 total students. They are a private school, and it costs a ton of money to get into there. I've been to both campuses because I've spent about 5 years of my childhood in Chapel Hill. And we lived on campus. My parents were grad students, so we lived in housing that was designed for married folks who were in school. And so it was quite a nice, variety of people and cultures that live there. When you live in a big college town, university town, there's going to be people from all over the world that live there. So I got to know all these kids from around the world. It's a pretty cool place.
That does sound like an interesting place to grow up on a college campus. So, and what do you take away from that experience? We're in a break right now.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, we lived, as I said, in this really big apartment complex, and you see these on every big university campus where they have housing for, and I don't know what it's like now, but this was back in the 70s. So married couples who were in school got a really good break on housing at the time. There was this huge apartment complex for just those kind of people. And so that's what that's what it was like back then. So you got the opportunity to meet people from all over the world. There's Iranian couples and, people from all kind of countries in Africa, and also all over the United States, just pursuing whatever kind of graduate degree. It's just a bunch of, basically, it's just good people, all commingling like that.
Now, were you like going to as a young man living on campus, a young child, going to like the frat houses and crushing beers and pounding puss and
No,
stuff like that?
I was way too young for that.
Yeah.
No, I was between ages 5 and 10 when I lived there in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. When I was about 10 years old in 1980, that's when we moved to Georgia. I had been coming to Georgia my whole life in Gainesville because that's where my grandparents were, but my mom and dad were pursuing their grad degrees, and so You know, that's when I lived on that big campus apartment complex. It was great, and I really didn't like moving to Georgia. It felt like I was going back in time when I showed up in Gainesville. It was like all this racist stuff that I wasn't aware of. You know, a lot of, you know, terms and things that I'd never heard until I showed up there. And so,
Culture
and
shock.
it was a culture shock, and all these kids down there in Gainesville, they kept calling me a Yankee. You know, they said I sounded like a Yankee, but yet I was just coming down from North Carolina. That's still in the Southern Territory, but I guess it's too close to wherever, you know. And I felt unwelcome when initially moved to Georgia. Got to put that out there.
All right, we are back to action here. North Carolina and Duke. It is 35-26. North Carolina, they're up by 9 with 2:54.
Right, and I'm sorry a game broke out while I was giving my life story. Let's forget about all that and focus on this basketball game. That's where it's all at. The world is a much better place than it was in 1980. Just say that.
Well, there's 2 for Duke.
Indeed, and it's 35-28, North Carolina up.
And Dylan will answer your question in just a moment over in the chat box. Tar Heels have it. Duke with a man-on-man defense. And just the guy with the hair drives the lane with the layup. That is good. Duke answers with a jam.
Slam. Jam sandwich. 2 minutes left, first half.
And there is a turnover for Duke. They're going to push it. Kicks it out for 3. No good.
And let's go ahead and talk to Dylan. Yeah, Zion is out for this game. When he blew out a shoe, when he blew out a sneaker, that spelled the end of his game tonight.
He's certainly out for the rest of the half, and he is not likely to return, but we'll get an update at halftime. He blew out his shoe there, man. That was weird. He hurt himself. He broke his shoe. Almost another turnover out of bounds on Duke. So North Carolina has it up by 7 with 1:42.
And that is rough when you blow out a sneaker these days. I mean, those things are made so well that it doesn't happen that often. So he must have had some kind of big collision. North Carolina inbounds it now. They have the ball. 1:40 to go. There's a three-pointer up in the air. It is no good. Duke comes away with a rebound.
Another miss on the 3. All right. Tar Heels cannot convert. The ball goes out of bounds.
So everybody on board, let us know where you are watching this game tonight. Do you have a dog in the fight? Are you a Duke fan? Are you a North Carolina fan? And Duke cuts a lead to 6 points now.
They're creeping back in it. Free throw is good. It's a 5-point game, 126.
Carolina misses it. The Duke fans are going crazy, jumping up and down in their seats. Duke with a 3. It is an air ball. And so North Carolina comes back away with it. And the shot attempt is no good. There is a whistle. And it looks like there is a foul on Duke with 1:04 to go in the first half.
And these players are acting like every play they want to make the highlight reel. That's costing them a lot of baskets.
And a cat has just gone by on your camera view with down there on the left-hand side.
Okay. Yeah, there's a couple cats running around here. And speaking of cats, our broadcast is sponsored by treasurehunt.ga. North Carolina gets a free throw and a 6-point lead. 1 minute to go in the first half. Duke down by 6. A-Bomb's going to give us the play-by-play.
Yes, and we're under a minute to go. Carolina with the ball. Somebody trips up. Still maintains control of it somehow. And ball gets rejected out of bounds by Duke. Ball belongs to the Tar Heels with 40 seconds to go, first half.
Now Duke's got to feel pretty good right now. Only going to be down by maybe 6 at the half.
We expected a tight game. Let's see how it actually pans out. And the first of 2 goes for Carolina from the line. It's 39-32.
I mean, how stunned do you think the whole team is that Zion's out? It's taken him a while to recoup.
It is, and the second one goes, and out is 40-32. Carolina on top, Duke with the ball, 38 seconds to go. About a 10-second differential between the 2 clocks. Duke with it, in no hurry to shoot.
10 seconds on the play clock, shot clock.
Desperation goes up off the glass, no good. Misses everything, and then Carolina lays it up on the other end. They miss it, and now Duke with it again, and then Carolina steals it. With 2 seconds. Jam sandwich!
And that's how you go to half.
Wow, that was crazy. What a crazy sequence in the last, what was it, 25 seconds?
Yeah.
That was wacky.
It was wacky. It was sloppy, but they managed to get that highlight shot they were looking for as time expires.
It was a real sloppy exchange between both teams, like up and down the court by both teams' baskets, but somehow Carolina ended up on top with that slam, and they're up 10 points at halftime.
Well, that might be a little demoralizing for Duke.
But we are in Cameron Indoor Stadium. It is Duke's house we're in. You got to figure they're going to put up a good fight in the second half.
Yeah, they're going to definitely have to make some adjustments now if Zion indeed is not coming back. That injury is probably why Duke is having a hard time. And not that they don't have the talent to do it, it's just that it really messed them up.
And I thought the graphic, I can't remember to be honest with you, this was a while, 30 minutes ago, but I thought the graphic said he was out for the game. But, maybe I recalled that incorrectly.
I did not see the graphic. And I presumed he wouldn't be, but I didn't know they had made that official determination. So thanks for the update there.
Yeah. So A-Bomb is going to step aside for a minute. I'm going to freshen up. I'll be back in just a few.
All right, we're going to take a break. And it's halftime. We'll have more live play-by-play reaction on the way. Stand by.